Over the last few years, I've had my family on Apple's 2 terabyte iCloud plan. And recently, I got that dreaded notification that I was running out of space. Apple's next option for me was to spend $30 a month for 6 terabytes. And that's when I said I've had enough and I'm not paying anymore. So instead, I got me one of these. This is a NAS from a company called UGREEN, and NAS stands for Network Attached Storage. So what is this? This is an array of hard drives. And I know that sounds crazy, it sounds technical, but they honestly make it super easy. And basically, when you think about it, when you're paying for iCloud, you're paying Apple to store your stuff on hard drives in their location. Rather than do that, why not save some money in the long run and get your own? And that's what this does. And I'm going to show you why I think every Apple user needs their own NAS. So this one right here is the UGREEN NASSync DH4300 Plus. This one comes in at $380 right now. It's on sale. I do have the link down below, so you can go ahead and click on that at any time in the video. But this is a 4-bay network attached storage. So what's that mean? Well, it can store up to 4 hard drives. So you can put any size hard drive depending on what you want. The great thing about UGREEN compared to some other ones is they have a wide compatibility list of third-party hard drives. There's a lot now that require you to buy their hard drives. And you might be thinking, well, that's not that bad. But the problem with that is, it's just like the iCloud storage, is you get locked in really easily and they can up the price and then you're just stuck with whatever drives they support or whatever drives they make. Where UGREEN gives you a wide variety of different drives that you can choose from. So like I said, this one does support the storage of 4. They have all different kinds that you can actually do. And this one goes up to 120 terabytes of storage, which is the equivalent of storing millions of photos, thousands of 4K movies, and tens of millions of files. But of course, those drives do cost a lot more. So in this unit, I can go ahead and pop one out. Has a Seagate 4 terabyte Iron Wolf drive in it. These are great drives. They're perfect for the NAS setup. But once again, you have that wide compatibility, so you can go with the drives that you want. But before I move on, you've noticed the drive is in this system. These are very easy to install. You have about 3 screws on each side that you just kind of screw in, and that just helps you keep it secure. It took me no more than 10 minutes to get all these drives mounted and in place. And then once you do, you just kind of slide it in and just snap it into place. Now the top is also magnetic, so they do have a few little magnets in there. You don't have to worry, they're not very powerful. They're not going to mess with your storage at all. But it just slides right in top and just goes right there. This thing is really designed for home and small office users. I store this on my desk with my computer and everything else. I just put it right behind my monitors. It sits there, it's quick, it's easy to access, and it just looks so good as well. I mean, just look at this thing. It looks really, really good. But more than looks, this is a perfect long-term alternative for anyone feeling pressure from the iCloud storage tiers. So, and it's also very easy to set up. As I showed you, the hard drives are really easy to mount and slide right in place. Once you have everything good to go, you don't even need a computer to set this thing up. You can actually do it all directly on your iPhone. So it has NFC built right into the casing itself. So if I just hover my phone over top, you'll see it pops right in and it automatically takes me to their website to where I can download the UGREEN app. Now, when I set mine up, I did it all from my Mac because that's just kind of how I set most stuff up. And the UI there is clean and user-friendly as well. Once you're going through the process, you can set up how many storage pools you want to set up. I just set up one really big one. As I mentioned, in this unit right here, there are 4 terabyte hard drives. So if you think about it that way, I have 16 terabytes worth of storage on this. But the way you're going to want to set it up is to where if a hard drive fails, you're still secure because, you know, hard drives, they're not going to last forever. They usually last a pretty long while, but they're not guaranteed to last forever. So keep that in mind. You can set it up to where you can have 2 hard drives fail or just one. I set mine up to have 1 hard drive fail. So what does that really mean? Well, when I set it up that way, that means that I don't have access to the full 16 terabytes anymore. You basically lose 1 drive plus a little more. So in this unit now, I have 10 terabytes of storage and also a backup solution. So that's where this thing gets really powerful, because you don't have to worry about backup as well. You have that all right here built into one unit. Unless you want to go off-site, which they also have a little bit of stuff that I'll talk about a little later in the video on how you can even back this stuff up off-site as well. Well, let me go ahead and show you how it works on the iPhone. So right here, you can see I've launched the app and I get the option to sign in with Face ID. All I have to do is show it my face, and now I'm in the system. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just the storage app. So basically this shows me that I have it set up as a RAID 5 storage 1 pool. And like I said, basically what that does is that I can have 1 hard drive fail and I'm still backed up and secure. You can also see that I've used 1.1 terabytes of data out of 10.7. No issues there. I have plenty of space to work with. And if I go out, well, you can also, just real quick before I forget, you can add external storage to this as well. It does have a USB-C port in the front. There's also an HDMI port in the back and 2 USB-A ports in the back as well. So you can actually set this thing up and have access to it in different ways and access different hard drives for backup or whatever you want. But now that I'm back into here, so the thing that this works is there is an app store. So if I go into App Center, you can install whatever apps you want in here. Now, the thing that I'm going to be using this the most for is photo storage and sync and backup. So those are the first apps that I actually downloaded. And then if I come into this sync and backup, the way this works, as you can see, I have my iPhone Air right here. I have auto backup in the background turned on. I have mobile data backup. Basically what that does is that it can still back up even if I'm on cellular. You can turn this off if you want. I like to keep it on just so I'm always backing up, or I always have the ability to back up no matter what my connection is on my phone. And then I have a night backup, which it looks like it happens at 2 a.m. Now I can go even deeper. So this is the photos backup right here. So I have photos backup turned on. You can see right here, the last backup was today, so I guess I'm all backed up and ready to go. But you have your backup files, your backup album. I just store it all in one album, but you can set that up a little bit differently. And the time range and the photo sorting, however you want. They give you a lot of control on this. But now if I go into the Photos app, you can see all my backed up photos. So basically in here, I have a ton of photos. It does work with live photos, so you have access to all your photos as they should be. And of course, videos as well. So if I scroll down enough, you can see I do have some videos on here. These were filmed with my Meta glasses. It's a little bright right there, and I can go ahead and play that again, and it's going to play and look a little bit better. So all this stuff gets backed up right there, easy to access, and it's all right here on my phone, even though none of these photos are living on my phone. And you can see how quick that was. So if I open up another video, I come in here, it loads real quick, see the video, watch a little bit of it, scroll to another video, watch that one real quick. And you saw how fast that was. And none of this is actually on my phone. It all lives in that NAS unit on those hard drives. So I don't have to worry about doing manual file exports. It just automatically happens in the background. You get high-speed access to your files, and the backups are also high-speed because it's all local. And I don't have to worry about it. It's set it up and forget it, just like iCloud is. And this, compared to iCloud and Google Drive, is insane. How fast you can actually get your files backed up to this on your local network. You're looking at 1 to 2 gigabytes per second over the local network, where you're not going to see that with iCloud and Google Drive. And there is a Google Drive sync integration as well between the NAS and your Google Drive. And this sync integration works great. So maybe you already have a bunch of stuff stored over on your Google Drive. Well, it can help with the data migration over to your NAS, but you can also use it for a little bit of backup redundancy as well. So depending on how you want to use that, you can do it for both. If you're already relying on Google Drive, you can either have a seamless transition or you can have that hybrid workflow, whatever works best for you. I'm a big fan of the Photos app on the iPhone for a couple reasons. One of them that I really love is just the ability to find pictures of people really quickly. Now, sadly, right now, I can't really demonstrate how the Photos app works very well because I recently set up this phone and not all my pictures have synced over yet. Keep that in mind because, once again, I recently set up this phone. And now if I go into the UGREEN app, I'm back into the photos, I can go into albums and take a look here. I have people. And it's all set up, all ready to go. It is already there because it didn't have to wait for my phone to fully download everything. It already has my photos. It already has everything. It's already processed this. So even though I just set up this phone today and iCloud hasn't had the ability to navigate through my photos and download all my photos and do the people, this already has it. And that is just one of those things with how well this is going to work. Whether I'm accessing it on my phone or maybe I need to log into through somebody else's computer to get access to some photo, I can do all that right here, super easy, and it works great. So if I go right here and I look at my son, I can scroll through all the photos of him and it finds it perfectly. And this just is so nice to have. So you don't lose that ability by putting everything in your NAS. You still have access to all those. And you can name them. I haven't named everybody yet because I just didn't want to give names to other family members and friends yet. But I will do that after I make this video. But not only that, you can set up your own section. So right now I do also have locations and videos as albums, but I can create other albums as well. And there is also a couple other tools that, I believe Apple actually has this built into the iPhone, but it's kind of buried a little bit. And right here, I can do similar or duplicate photos. And now I set this up so you can see I have it already set up right there, and it didn't find any duplicates, which is great. But I could go through similar, which I also did this. May not have had time to fully process yet because it says failed to search, but it has found multiple similar photos that I can then go through and delete the ones that I don't want to keep. So that is great. Like these right here, I actually don't need any of these. So I'm just going to tap all those. And then if I delete that, it tells me there's 12 photos there. And it's going to save me less than a meg, but still it's going to save me, and I just delete and they're all gone. So if you are somebody like me that loves Apple Photos, you love to be able to find people and places quickly, the UGREEN NAS brings that same intelligent organization to your private storage with AI that runs completely locally on the device, which is so nice. Apple's great at privacy, but UGREEN just does it just as well. And as you've seen in my use case, it works really well even on a brand new device or somebody else's device if you want to log in through theirs on yours. So I've shown you the benefits and how it kind of works, but you might be thinking, but am I really going to save money on this? And long term you will. Now there is a larger upfront cost, but let's just take my scenario. So I was about to upgrade to the 6 terabytes of iCloud. That would have cost me $380 or more, probably more, with tax and everything throughout 1 year. So 5 years, I'm looking at close to $2,000. So the NAS by itself is on sale right now. It's $60 off. So it is down to $379.99. Now you will still have to buy hard drives, but once again, you don't have to buy all 4. You don't have to buy the 4 terabyte, but let's say you bought 3 4 terabytes. So those are going to probably cost you about $150 150 or so, maybe 160 each. So let's take that into consideration. Let's just go 160 times 3 equals 480 plus, let's just go 400 there for the NAS with tax and everything. So just kind of trying to round up roughly. Let's just round up to $900. So what's that going to get you? That's going to get you the NAS, plus it's going to get you 3 4-terabyte hard drives. So that'd be 12 terabytes of space. But once again, you usually lose like at least a whole hard drive of space if you do the backup, which I highly recommend. It's just that peace of mind knowing that the drive can fail and everything still be backed up and you can just put a new drive in. So if that's the case, you're looking at taking 4 terabytes off, you're still around 8, maybe a little less depending. I'm not sure how all the magic works, but you're still gonna have at least 6 terabytes of storage space. Now keep in mind, for 5 years, you're spending $2,000 for 6 terabytes of iCloud space. So yes, it will take you about 2.5 years to catch up. But once that's done, then it's all profit. So after 5 years, you've saved $900 or more, and then continue from there. Now, yes, eventually you will have to replace drives. They will go bad, but these things should last you at least 5 years. It's not unusual for them to last you over 7. So overall, you're just basically saving so much money going this route. But one thing to remember, this is a one-time hardware purchase. There's no reoccurring monthly storage fee that you have to continue paying like you do iCloud. Now, I'm not saying get rid of iCloud. I'm a big iCloud fan. I'm just saying kind of change the way you use it. Use it more strategically. Use it to where you only pay for what you need and you can save a ton of money that way. So this eliminates a lot of that reoccurring cost that you need with iCloud. And to me, that like I'm already paying for that Apple One, so my bill's already like $40 a month. This is an option to break free from that. And let me just tell you, it feels so good not to have to worry about paying more every single month. Just the peace of mind and just the peace of like not having to worry about that bill every month with all the other bills every month. I love this thing. It is such a great long-term cost control, and you have that ownership versus the subscription, and you get greater storage flexibility because you can choose when you want to upgrade. You can upgrade however much you want. You're not stuck into Apple's like you go from 2 to 6. Really, Apple? 2 to 6? Where'd 4 go from? Like seriously, where'd 4? Give me something in between. Why do I have to go from 2 to 6? From $10 to $30? It's ridiculous. You have that control when you go with something like this. So the way I'm planning to use this is the NAS system will be my long-term storage backbone. iCloud will be an active sync layer. So I'm still gonna have my iCloud account. I'm just gonna be lowering the tier down to the minimal that I need. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Look at your current iCloud storage plan. Evaluate what you actually need and look at UGREEN as a possible alternative to actually save money in the long run. Links to the product is down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you in the next one. God bless.